So the scene starts with M. Bison pulling up in an airship, and I'm gonna let y'all know right now, this man is a menace to society. He's been moving diabolical this entire film. Look at this. He sent one man to fade Chun-Li in her own home. Fade so devious she ended up like this. I was like, nah. I guess killing her father wasn't enough for him, he just had to drag it. Now look, she's a victim. He straight embarrasses Guile, doing him the worst. He had that boy swinging at straight air for like 15 seconds, and then booms him off a cliff. Just look at the smile on his face when he does it too. This is devious. Only other person smiling this much while violating is Broly. And we all know what type of timing he's on. That man had Vegeta on his knees for a whole movie. Whose favorite character is this? And what's crazy is Guile survived this somehow. Bro just fell at least 1,000 feet off a cliff and he's barely injured. Gwen Stacy would be pissed watching this film. But probably the worst thing M. Bison did in this movie was brainwash Ryu's best friend, Ken. Had him moving like Ebony Maw. I would not wish this on anyone. Ryu saw Ken and he was like,
I can't let this slide. I've got to ratio this nigga.
And he was on go, ready to put M. Bison to sleep. But Ken's loyalty lies with M. Bison right now. He wasn't letting that happen. He takes off his cloak, jumps up, and kicks Ryu. Send that boy on a 50-foot road trip with no vehicle. I know his skin is burning right now. And this is where we get into Ken versus Ryu. Because that boy Ken was tweaking and Ryu had to snap him out of it. But honestly, I can't even call this a fight because other than his James Harden level defense, Ryu was getting worked. Only because this man didn't want to fight back. Look at this. Ken hits Ryu with an up tilt, follows it with a down air, then charges up a Gallic gun and almost force kicks Ryu off the server. He was not playing. He almost gets stomped out but gets kicked in the chin. And he ain't getting no water breaks. Ken's applying that pressure immediately. Ryu gets up only to get kicked down right after. And to make the disrespect even worse, Ken grabs him by his hair and holds him up like a trophy. Look at this screenshot. If a flick like this ever touches the group chat, you're cooked. Hang up the jersey and all. Boxing is clearly not for me. Ryu gets tossed away like the trash he is apparently. Ken pulls up on him, he weaves, blocks, gets kicked to the wall, and Ken proceeds to do him the filthiest. He runs up and starts walling on him. Gave him the craziest Popeye's 10-piece combo I've ever seen. Almost gave him the Don Julio too, but Ryu wasn't thirsty. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I don't care if he's brainwashed. I'm getting my lick back after that. But hey, it ain't me. He kicks Ryu to the wall and lays him out flat. Somebody get the white tape, this man is finished. But just before he could finish the job, Ken starts to wake up. He remembers Ryu and starts shedding tears. Which is cap if you ask me. Y'all saw how nasty he just did Ryu. Those tears gotta be fake, I'm not buying it. But just when you thought the fight was over, and Bison pulls up right behind him, and he's like,
nigga, did I just catch you having fun?
And he gives Ken a one-way ticket to Cancun. And that is the end of Ken for the time being. Now we can finally move on to the main event, Ryu versus M. Bison. Not gonna lie, back-to-back fights is insane. Like damn bro, can he not take 5? He just spent like 5 minutes getting worked by Ken and he's right back in that field. And Bison is clearly a man with no honor. And just to prove my point, he puts on his best Mark Phillips impression, got the instigating. Called Ken a loser and told Ryu he was all talk and no action. But Ryu was not about that disrespect. Who the heck does M. Bison think he's talking to? But I'm sorry to say this fight did not go any better than the last one. He was out there getting bullied. And Bison makes him swing at straight air twice in a row. Ryu jumps at him only to airball yet again. And Bison weaves and beams Ryu without using his hands. And just off that alone, we could wrap up this video right here. That boy M. Bison's out there frame skipping, making Ryu look mad goofy. Getting cooked back to back like this is unfortunate. Ryu, there's no way you're this trash. You know what? Let's go check up on Ken real quick.
My legs, they won't move.
Nah, M. Bison, how could you? They done turned my boy into D-Rose, retired him early. You did not have to do all that. And I was only gone for a couple of seconds, but look at Ryu, bruh. No way this is the same man M. Bison called the legendary Street Fighter. This fraud? Yeah, okay, whatever, bruh. Anyway, M. Bison's about to break Ryu's wrist and end his whole career. But just like Captain America himself bailing out Bucky, Ken pulls up to come save his friend. If you're wondering how he fixed his legs, plot. Now back to the fight. M. Bison's gonna rip off his chain and tell them both to pull up. I'm thinking this a 2v1 now. No way they fumble this, right? Wrong. Peep game. Ken goes at M. Bison first. M. Bison blocks both attacks, weaves the right, and elbows Ken away. Ryu jumps in with a kick only to get weaved and slapped in the face, had his face looking malleable. Ken tries to sneak him, he dodges and elbows him out the frame and straight to Tenten. He blocks Ryu's kick, weaves the left, and starts choking him. Even picked him up too, feet dangling and everything. But this leaves him wide open for Ken to kick him, and Ryu follows it up with a command grab and throws him. I saw this and I was like, hold up, they actually caught him. Only for this man to start levitating. Not only that, but he slowly descends with his back turned, posing. 2 S-tier Street Fighters right behind him, by the way. This is a violation and Ken cannot have that. He runs at M. Bison only to get blocked twice and elbowed a 3rd time. He's only been getting hit with elbows this whole fight. That's how you know M. Bison sees him as a fresh bag of chips. He not taking him seriously. And he does Ryu even worse. Ryu's gonna throw out every single attack in his command list, but M. Bison been on Sparking 0 too much cause look at this. Made Ryu go 0 for 24. Then he's gonna grab his face, take him all the way up, and slam him to the ground head first. Imagine having Ryu as your favorite Street Fighter and being hyped to watch this movie, only to see him getting done like this. I would've unclaimed him so fast, I don't know you. He raises his leg to stomp him out with his custom made size 20 metal Tims, but Ken comes through to help him, only for M. Bison to put him in a headlock, treating him like lil bro. Then he's gonna take his extra large fist and rock him in the face, not once but twice. I know he's gonna be at home crying after this. This is embarrassing. He tosses Ken over to Ryu. He said, hold this for me real quick. And then he comes through like a bowling ball and hits a strike on him.
Nice throw!
This man is 6'2" and 247 pounds moving like this. Someone get this man on a football field and I guarantee he's getting picked up the same day. But unfortunately, this is where M. Bison's streak of violation comes to an end. I can't even front. This man Ryu tees up crazy. He came in with that 4th quarter action. It's comeback season. He jumps and kicks M. Bison back, and then he unleashes a lethal combo on him. That boy must have used a cheat code cause he said uppercut, right, gut, left, chin check, 2-piece, left, gut. Then he jumps up in slow motion and lands a clean kick to his chin. First time I saw this, I was like, where was all this action 5 minutes ago? This man couldn't land a single hit this entire fight, and now he's able to drop a whole combo? Cap, I don't believe it. But not gonna lie though, that was a clean combo. Maybe a little too clean cause M. Bison was so furious he spun back 3 seconds later. He hits him with a palm strike, knee to the gut, and then elbows his back. And then he just stands over him, menacingly. And notice how he's not smiling anymore? Yeah, that boy's real life mad now. He's never eaten a combo in his entire life. And that was just the beginning of the end. Ken charges in and starts fighting with him, and while he's distracted, Ryu grabs his leg to hold him in place, and once Ryu gave the call, it was game over. Ken hits him with a Tatsumaki, all headshots, and Ryu hits him with a legendary uppercut, which sends him up, and Bison hits this clean backflip and sticks the landing, which is cool and all, but the flip didn't change the end result. Ken and Ryu already have their finishers loaded up. It's time to send in the H-fill. They hit the double Hadouken and it hits M. Bison with 100% accuracy, sends him flying into his airship and blows him up once and for all. But I'ma be so honest, low key, that win was kinda Mickey. He was working him the whole fight just for them to tee up out of nowhere. That's crazy, but hey, a win is a win.
A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say, a win is a win.